Hey, we had a great class, The Spirituality of J.R.R. Tolkien. It just ended, but if you missed it, you can take the recorded version at Homeschool Connections. And for a little treat, I'm going to put up a few other videos of me as Tolkien from our EWTN specials.
So the elves are immortal. Yet remember, Tolkien says that above all else, The Lord of the Rings centers on the theme of death and immortality. Whereas the role of the elves in The Lord of the Rings signifies the presence of immortality, those who don't die, the role of men is to signify the presence of death. In the famous verse with which The Lord of the Rings opens, we have the line, 9 for mortal men doomed to die.
The letters are elvish, of an ancient tongue, but the language is of Mordor, which I will not utter here. But this, in the common tongue, is what is said, close enough. 3 rings for the elven kings under the sky, 7 for the dwarf lords in their halls of stone, 9 for mortal men doomed to die, 1 for the Dark Lord on his dark throne, in the land of Mordor, where the shadows lie. 1 ring to rule them all, 1 ring to find them, 1 ring to bring them all, and in the darkness, bind them, in the land of Mordor, where the shadows lie.
Nine for mortal men doomed to die. I know of no other line in English poetry in which the word death appears as often. Let's look at that line again. 9 for mortal, death. Men, death. Doomed, death. Die, death. The thing that defines us as men is the fact that we die. Now, within the context of the dynamism of The Lord of the Rings, it's very evident that this theme of death and immortality in the story allows us to see that immortality is not the same thing as eternity. Although the 2 words are often conflated, they're very, very different. Immortality is to live in this world, in this long defeat, and never die. It is to be trapped, like Galadriel, in the long defeat for centuries. Eternity, on the other hand, is beyond time altogether and beyond the reach of all the darkness and suffering of the long defeat. It is to be in the eternal presence of God, on the assumption, of course, that we avoid hell. So eternity is to be beyond time. Immortality is to be trapped within it.
The elves do not die as men die. They live for ages of the world in long defeat. And it's for this reason that the elves, trapped in time by their immortality, understand that death is a gift of Ilúvatar to man, God's gift to man.